And then we'll go live. Okay. So here we go. Well, hello. This is Jim Morgan with Caring Transitions, and this is Life's Co-Pilot, which is like a companion little thing we do that gives you free access to free information about anything and everything senior and how to take care of your loved ones and all that kind of good stuff. So today, we have something pretty exciting on here. I come from a real estate background, so I basically got in the real estate business when the earth was cooling, and we started moving the dinosaurs out and redeveloping. So anyway, so this is a new thing coming to Indianapolis or Westfield in this particular case. I'm not really familiar of others in the marketplace that are doing this. So we have Janet St. Peter here today. And she's going to be explaining this new real estate cooperative for seniors, for senior living in Westfield. And Janet, I'm going to turn it over to you to have you explain who you are and all the things you guys are doing, because I think it's very intriguing.
Yeah, thanks, Jim, for having us today. We really appreciate it. So, my name is Janet St. Peter, and I work for Real Estate Equities Development. We are building a new community here in Westfield called Village Cooperative of Westfield. And I have a whole PowerPoint to share with you so that you can go back and look at it and take some memories. But I spent about 20 years in banking, so kind of the other side of your real estate market. And then I did some financial literacy classes in King County in the state of Washington, working with United Way. We taught on 7 different college campuses, great experience. Then I came to work for Real Estate Equities and have never looked back. It's a great company and I love working for them. And we'll talk a little bit more about the company in just a minute. I'm
Now, you
originally
came
a
from a
California.
different, you were with a different branch of them in a different state before coming here, right?
Yes, so I've worked with them for almost 6 years now, and I have worked in the state of Washington, believe it or not, Fargo, North Dakota, Colorado Springs, and then all here in Westfield. So a little bit of experience to bring to the
A
table.
lot of people in Indiana know about Fargo, and the reason being is Indiana is a big wrestling state, and Fargo, North Dakota, is where the big wrestling tournament is for the every summer. So,
I loved working in Fargo. The people there are amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, a good community. So I was born in California, about 50 miles north of Carmel, California, Carmel as we call it,
Yeah.
in wine country, and spent most of my life in California before moving to Nevada and then Washington, and currently live in Florida, where my husband, my daughter, grandchildren, son-in-law live, and we love it there. It's wonderful. But I can say it is really green here in Indianapolis, and especially the Carmel. I've been driving around and it's just beautiful.
Pretty town. It always ends up in one of the best place to live categories. So
Yeah, and I'm learning to really like roundabouts.
there you go. You either learn or you have to move. That's kind of that kind of works.
No, they're pretty good. They keep traffic moving, don't they?
They do. So tell me about this cooperative thing.
Yeah, so should we dive into the PowerPoint that I
Sure.
have? And that way I can just kind of start from the beginning and explain all about the developer, the cooperative, a little bit about the floor plans. I have some photos to share. So if you want to let me share my
Yeah, it's
screen.
right on the bottom of the screen there. There should be a little button that says share. See it? There you go.
Yeah,
For some reason, you're sharing me. There you
can
go.
you see my screen now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so anyway, as I said, the project that we're building here is Village Cooperative of Westfield. Today, I'm going to talk about Real Estate Equities. That's the company I work for, the developer. I'm going to talk about what cooperative housing is, what the cooperative amenities are, home plans and features, and we'll talk a little bit about pricing, and then how you can reserve a home if you think this is the next step for you. So Real Estate Equities is a Twin Cities based real estate firm with roots back to 1972. We've developed more than 100 unique products totaling over 9,000 homes. And about 21 years ago, we decided that we liked the Village Cooperative business model. And so that's what we build now. We are no longer building housing. We are no longer building industrial. We build cooperatives. We love working with seniors and providing them a great alternative to what's out there in the market. We have developed over 51 village cooperatives in the Midwest, the West, the South that are either open, under construction, or currently being planned. This building here is in Colorado Springs. It's called Briargate, but beautiful building, great mountain views. We are a financially sound company with over 750 million in senior cooperative development. That's a lot of homes for a lot of people. So you can see our locations here. We have 43 that are completed. Those are in the blue. 8 of them are coming soon. They are in Arvada, Colorado, Billings, Montana, Bismarck, right there near Fargo, Cheyenne, Wyoming, Erie, Colorado, Ken Carroll, Colorado, Leawood, Kansas, and of course here in Westfield, Indiana. Over 6,200 shareholders have chosen the Village Cooperative in these locations across 13 different states. So a little bit of background. Senior housing cooperatives have been around since the 70s. They began in Minnesota. There's over 140 in the country, and most of them are in the Midwest. How many do you think are in Minneapolis, Jim?
It's a pretty, when you get Minneapolis, you got all the Twin Cities and all that stuff in there. I would say, I don't know, 20, I don't know.
Boom, there's over 90 senior cooperatives in Minnesota. Isn't that
Okay.
crazy? Cooperative members enjoy maintenance-free living in a secure setting, plus amenities that are not offered in a condo. The reason there's so many in Minnesota is that's where they started from, and we are the company that has taken them outside of Minnesota and built them in those 13 different states. How they work. Each member owns a share in the cooperative. The cooperative corporation owns the property, including the areas inside and the common grounds outside. The cooperative pays the master mortgage, property taxes, and other operating expenses. The members elect their board of directors, and the board of directors manage the bylaws that are set up ahead of time, and they control the cost and manage operations. So that means that the members that purchase in the cooperative are able to be active in the community and do things that they want to do. We tend to see younger people moving into the cooperative that are making their choice instead of somebody else making that choice for them. They're independent and love their independence. In the building that I worked in Colorado Springs, we had lots of people that still enjoyed cycling and hiking. You know, with all those mountains, it's something they do a lot there. So they get to enjoy those things instead of taking care of a home. They also tend to have ties to the community and a lot of social opportunities with their peers that live in the building. We find that people that purchase in the cooperative, as they get older and don't want to live in a single family home, they still want ownership and they want the freedom and they want to be able to have control. A lot of things that the other options here in Westfield or Indianapolis in general just really don't have an option for. It's either rent or it's stay in your single family home. We have spacious new homes in what we consider a great location and 100% maintenance free. Does this look like anybody here with all that green grass out there? No maintenance at all. And we think it's all at a great value. So Village Cooperative offers a worry-free, hassle-free living that gives you more time to do the things that you want to do. So instead of worrying about repairs or maintenance, you get to spend your time doing the things that are important to you. So I have a video here. Let's see if it works. But it is 100% total carefree living.
Are you getting the sound on yours?
Yeah. Are you not getting sound?
No.
Okay,
and I
then
don't really know how to fix that. So,
that's okay, not a problem. So in the cooperative, we have an active lifestyle for the members that live there. And there will be potlucks and lunches and barbecues and celebrations and movie nights and card games, wine and dine events, happy hours, book clubs, casino runs, crafting, quilt fairs, sewing parties, the garage sales. One of our cooperatives in Washington, in the Olympia, they just did a garage sale. Members collected all the things they didn't want anymore, did a garage sale this spring and raised $7,000. That money went right into the cooperative. They use it for fun things that they want to do. It doesn't come out of their budget. So it's kind of nice that they can collaborate together and do things like that. Hiking clubs, biking club, outdoor clubs. We see lots of volunteering with our members, running and walking groups, continuing education. They'll have speakers come in and do talks, puzzles, sports parties, pickleball, day trips and tours. Some people vacation together, golfing, garden clubs. It's just everything that you want to do. You know, you're working and you're busy. You don't get to try some of these things. Well, when you're in a cooperative with other people, they tend to invite you to do things and you end up trying things you've never tried before. It's kind of nice. So again, you can make this choice yourself when you want to. A lot of people are young. They're making these choices ahead of time so their family doesn't have to do it. They're downsizing to get out of the work that they don't want to do on those homes anymore. You know, I have a lady that said, I just don't want to pick one more weed.
frozen. Your computer was frozen for a minute.
Oops, is it froze now?
No, you're good. You're good now.
Okay, thank you for telling me. So people get to make this choice themselves when they want to instead of their family having to do it for them. That you can do it when you're young and enjoy your senior years without having the management of a home and spend your time doing the things you want, as we've kind of talked about. These homes are designed and built to fit your life. You get to choose the finishes and simplify your life while you watch your home being built. So that simplifying your life is equaling to downsizing. The two words we don't want to even have to think about, right? So this is one of our
Well,
beautiful
I kind of like to think
buildings.
about downsizing because my business, that's what we do is help people downsize and move into your place. So,
There you go. It's a safe, secure building, which is really important to a lot of people. Controlled access at the main entrance. You get a fob and a code for the people that come to visit you. Exterior doors require a special key. I think we're moving over to fobs for all of those buildings, but only the members get those. It's a fire protection system monitored 24 hours a day, carbon dioxide detectors. But I think most importantly, you know, there's going to be 66 other homeowners living in this building, and that creates a lot of security yourself. You're not sitting by yourself in a single family home, you're with other people around you. And maintenance free, my favorite thing. So you don't have to go from, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? How much is this going to cost? Because it's all covered 100%. No more tedious upkeeps, repairs, or replacements that often result in big bills and time wasted. I don't know about you guys, but I had to replace a roof last year. I live in the state of Florida. I got a 21-day notice and $36,000 later, or they were going to cancel my insurance. It's a lot of money to have to come up with in a short period of time. Roofs are expensive, kitchen remodels are expensive, appliances always tend to go out at the time when you least need them to. So this way, by living in a cooperative, you don't worry about all that. You just make a phone call downstairs and we take care of it for you.
yeah, my sister would have you would be hitting her pretty hard right now. She had in the last 12 months, they've had to replace the air conditioner in the downstairs and the air conditioner in the upstairs for like 22 grand for the combined. So,
It's expensive to maintain a home. They're money
yep,
pits, aren't they?
yep.
And trying to find somebody to repair them, that's even worse sometimes. But again, you get to enjoy the things you want to do instead of worrying about those. We do have away services, which is wonderful if you're going to be a snowbird and go to Arizona or to Florida and enjoy the summer month or the winter months instead of staying here. So the cooperative members can leave worry-free for days or months at a time. The staff will check their home, water their plants, gather their mail. Now they can't leave their pets because we're not going to feed and take care of their pets, but we will do the rest. we have a big community in the cooperative. It's one of the things that makes it so special is there's members that are always there to help each other. You know, they share Costco shopping orders together. They do events together, as I said previously, but they're just there for each other. You know, if somebody's sick, they're taking soup to them. If somebody needs a car ride, they're helping out. So when your family isn't near you or they're busy working, you have your community around you to make life a little more enjoyable. There's a sense of camaraderie and fellowship. You can live with other 62 plus adults, social events and activities to be engaged in, and you can begin new friendships or renew old ones. And you're just not alone. That's a video, but it's not going to play. So I will just tell you that there's a lot of comfort in knowing that there's people around you and you're not by yourself. So more people can live cheaper and more comfortably in a cooperative than in their current home long term. It's a place that you would be proud to live in. I wish I could take you all on a tour of the Colorado Springs building. It opened on April 29th and it is just beautiful. That was my last project I worked on. The members are started moving in on the 30th, and they're continuing to move in. They love, love, love where they live. So homeownership benefits do apply. It's a not-for-profit model that provides great amenities while keeping the costs low. This is one of the common areas in a Kansas project that we built. Common area where we have a full kitchen so they can do barbecues, potlucks. You can reserve it for a private event. Right outside those doors at the back, there's a barbecue area. If you own your home and you've been there a long time, you can free up some of the equity in your home and use it to do other things or to invest, because buying in the cooperative is a lot more reasonable than a single family home here in Westfield. And your investment will continue to grow at 3% every single year that you live in the cooperative. So where are we? So I don't know if you guys recognize this, but that's 146th Street. And it is on Ditch. So right there on the corner of Ditch and 146th Street. Do you know where Big B Coffee is? The coffee shop right there?
I think so. I don't.
Yeah, so it's right there by their Great Clips is right there. There's a pharmacy right on the corner. So we believe it's a really, really nice location.
They're 146 in Ditch. Is that what it
Yep.
is?
Yep.
Okay.
So here's the layout of the building, how it's going to sit on the property. It's a little over 5 acres. And I have a highlight here on those little boxes. For the very first time, we are adding 12 single garages that people can rent when they've purchased into the cooperative and they own a unit. Meaning they own a share in the cooperative, but they can actually rent one of these garages. So if somebody happens to have an antique car, a small boat, a small camping equipment, a motorcycle that they don't want to put in the garage under the building, they can rent one of those spaces. So I'm super excited about it. I've had people with antique cars or guys that like to fiddle in the garage and can't do that anymore. So great place for them to be able to do that. We have garden beds out there, overflow parking, really nice 5-acre lot.
I saw the little garden beds there. Yeah, I will tell you that what I would love to, get a word into your guys is, rather than just putting all the just plain old grass that you have to water and mow, figure if you can put some native planting in, because you don't have to mow it, you don't have to water it, and it actually benefits all the local fauna, and
We work really closely with the city in finding out what the native plants are, and we will definitely do some native plants
yeah,
in
I just think
Colorado.
people spend so much more money on things they don't need to, but if they could, it takes a couple of years to get it established, but once it's done, it just kind of does its own thing. So.
Yeah, that's nice. Yep, we'll work with the city on that. There will be lots of native plants. So here's a rendering of the building right here. So the front entrance is right down about 3/4 the way. Beautiful building. So in this building, there is only 67 homes to be constructed. Usually will take us 18 months to build. Pre-construction marketing and accepting reservations right now, which gives members a priority order number to secure their home and the best pricing possible throughout the entire project. Best pricing is now. So we have a fantastic location, as I just showed you, right near some great local amenities and future construction that's going on out there for more. 3-story building with attractive architectural design for great eye appeal, including a mix of nice materials. 67 no-step homes, so every home will be on a single floor in that 3-story building. Multiple communities for social gathering, hobbies, and fitness. Secure underground parking with a car wash bay. Here's some more pictures of other communities that we've built. There's that utility bay right there in the car wash, which is really nice in the winter because if you've been out driving, instead of going into your parking space, you can go in there, rinse your car off, and then your parking space stays nice and clean. We have 23 unique and spacious styles of homes in this building. 3-story building, 2 elevators, and 3 stairwells. Secure underground parking. We have a guest suite, so when family comes from out of town or friends, there's a unit in there similar to a hotel suite that they can stay in. Large community room with a full kitchen, raised garden beds, outdoor fireplace and grilling patio, reading areas, hobby room and flex space, fitness center, and additional internal storage options for people that just have a little more than will fit in their unit. We have an exterior garage option that I shared. Super excited about that. So here's some photos of what an inside unit might look like.
That's one
Okay.
unit there.
These are different units.
I mean, but they're that big.
Yeah, depending on. So I started, not, I'll share in just a second, but I started at 950 square feet and go up to almost 1,700. I believe it's 1818.
Okay.
So here's the building plan again. This is the first floor. You can see all the different units. Second floor that doesn't have the community space in the center. Here's one of our floor plans. This is my 1-bedroom, 1-bath. There's only 3 of them in the building and I've already sold one of them. So it's 950 square feet, very, very spacious unit for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. Has a really nice 11-foot by 6-foot deck on it. Pinehurst, it's a corner unit, lots of windows in this unit. 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Again, another really nice deck, lots of storage. Quinton, it's one of our larger floor plans, 2-bedroom, 2-bath with a den. I do have a couple of units larger than this. I even have a 2-bedroom with a den and a video room. So let's talk about pricing. So my pricing starts at $153,000. The share prices will appreciate with a value for simple interest of 3% every single year you live in the cooperative. This determines the transfer value for the next purchaser or person who's buying your share. It gives the shareholder a return on their share and keeps long-term costs very reasonable for future buyers. So let's do an example. So let's say you buy my medium price home at $233,000. The annual appreciation of 3% a year would be $6,990. If you live there 10 years, your appreciation is going to be $69,900. And when you get ready to sell your home, the transfer value on that will be $302,900. Monthly costs. Monthly expenses start about $1,510. The majority of the monthlies goes to property taxes and the master mortgage on the property. Monthly fees in the cooperative stay very stable and more flat long-term because you're only paying the actual expenses. There isn't a third party. The cooperative budget is a zero-based budget with no additional third-party payout profit. Revenue, monthly fees minus expenses equals zero. So there's a long list of what's included. In the state of Indiana, let alone Westfield, you can't buy anything for $159,000 or $153,000. The reason we can offer that is because we borrowed part of the funds to build this cooperative. So the members will be making that master mortgage payment and the interest. They'll be paying property taxes and insurance out of their monthlies, building and liability insurance, operating expenses and staff, common area heating and cooling, gas, sewer, water, and trash removal, snow and lawn care services, all exterior and interior maintenance, all the way down to light bulbs, all required reserves. So we have two funds, a short-term and a long-term reserve fund. So that money is put aside when siding needs to be replaced or carpet or appliances. What's not included? So you're going to pay your own electric bill. Your heating is included because that is gas. So your electric is just going to be your lights and utilities. Your lights and appliances, I'm sorry. Your internet cable for a discount rate. We just did Colorado Springs. They're paying $74 and change a month for both their internet and cable. And then a personal contents insurance. So like a renter's policy, but it's called an HO6 policy. So the benefits of the cooperative, you have cooperative ownership that's offering the best value because you get your tax benefits as they may apply. The board controls expenses. You get to free up some of the equity in your home. And your annual share is going to increase 3% every single year you live in the cooperative. You also have no unexpected expenses or repair bills like your sister's air conditioning units or my roof. The hidden costs of home ownership are huge, and the longer people stay in their home, the bigger the burdens get. If you're somebody that's got a budget and you're paying for those repairs as they come up, or you're doing repairs annually, it's not quite so expensive long-term because you've been paying for it, but you understand the cost of that at the same time. If you've deferred that maintenance, you have huge bills when you get ready to sell, and you're not going to get as much for your home. When you live in a cooperative, we maintain those things all the time. You don't have to worry about it. We've helped over 6,200 shareholders go from this to this and making the transition into their new worry lifestyle very easy. That's where I come in and help. It's a worry-free lifestyle. You get to do your choice and your time, which means you get to choose your finishes. New construction in a great location. You can't get much better than Westfield. Maintenance-free means more quality time for you. Stay connected to your community. Get to enjoy the overall financial and value benefits. So we have our website, villagecooperative.com. You can go to that. You can bring up Westfield. You can see all the floor plans. You can email me and I will send them to you. Or even better, I have an informational seminar that's going to be happening on the 18th at 1 o'clock of June, just in case somebody's watching this 8 months from now. It's going to be at the Wyndham Hotel on Carousel Lane in Westfield. But call me, I'll get your name on my list and you're more than welcome to come. We are also on Facebook. You can find us at Village Cooperative. And like I said, we're booking reservations right now. A $500 deposit allows you to reserve a home, learn more about the cooperative, meet some of the people that are purchasing, get comfortable with the idea of cooperatives. Gives you a priority number so that you get to select your home in front of someone else. And the earlier you sign up, the earlier you get to choose your garage space so you can get closer to the elevator. The project is expected to have a long waiting list like all of our other cooperatives, so don't wait. If you're thinking about moving in the next couple of years, it's super important to get a priority number. And again, if you want to find out more, you can reach me, Janet St. Peter, at 317-677-5248. So Jim,
Well,
I'm going to
excellent.
pass it.
Let me ask you a couple questions. I know that we have, you know, this particular distribution list this gets sent out to advertise for these Let's Co-Pilot events. I've got a lot of realtors on there because realtors are often some of the first people that know that a family is making a change. Okay, so so we have, I think we have about 8,000 realtors that are attached to this particular distribution list. In fact, I'm looking on my screen of participants and I see at least one right now. So anyway, so that's common. So what do you guys cooperate with realtors, or
We do cooperate with realtors.
how does that work?
So it's a percentage. We do a 3% for realtors
Okay, all right.
on the purchase price.
What about on the resale of the homes? You say they're going up, 3% a year guaranteed. How do they resell that home?
Yeah, so first of all, taxes and death are the only two things that guaranteed, right?
Right.
But they do go up 3% every single year. We have a pricing sheet that's an Excel spreadsheet. A new one of those comes out on or about move-in day every single year afterwards. And they will notify the board that they want to sell their home. We'll go to the waiting list and hopefully we'll find a buyer for them. The office manager will handle that process for them. Once the unit is paid for, they will get a check given to them or their estate.
Okay, so they go through the board makes does the deal on that. What if there's not, hypothetically, it's 2008 and there's not a waiting list, when the market crashed.
Yeah, 2008. Well, people were still selling homes in 2008,
Well,
believe it
I
or
know I
not.
was managing 14 Remax offices at the time.
Yeah.
But,
So if there isn't a waiting list, the cooperative will do some advertising. We, as a partner, Real Estate Equities, we have our cooperative website, Village Cooperative. It will show on there when the unit is available. And the cooperatives put together a volunteer welcome committee, and they do some marketing themselves within the cooperative.
is there an incentive for them to do that, or
No,
okay?
they, you know, it's just part of the cooperative. They volunteer in a lot of different committees in the cooperative, and that just happens to be one of them. It benefits them, when they're showing the building a couple of times a year for an open house and the waiting list gets longer, then when their unit needs to be sold, it sells quicker.
Yeah. So when I was going to ask you if it was a 55 and up, and I saw that you're saying 62 and up. Um, who are your people that are coming in? Tell me what's kind of the target market of the people that are gravitating towards this.
Yeah, people ready to downsize, people that are thinking about downsizing, but they don't really know if they want to do it. It's going to take us 18 months to build, and we're still in the property development stage. So we have a couple of years. So people that are just looking to see, and they're looking at different options in the community and realizing this is a good option for them. um, People that don't want to do maintenance anymore, or they can see in the future they don't want to, their back hurts a little bit, or they just want to spend their time doing other things. And people looking for community. We get a lot of people that live in their home by themselves and they're lonely. And their family might live here, but they only spend Friday nights with them having dinner. And they need community around them to feel good and to have things to do.
That is absolutely true. I've seen a lot of people, because 90% of what we do is we help people downsize. So we're helping them space plan their next, what will fit in their new space, pack and move them, and unpack and resettle them, and then sell off the excess stuff. But it's amazing how often people really blossom once they have more social.
Statistically, people will live approximately 7 years longer if they're in a community or they have a very active life versus somebody sitting at home watching TV all the time, being isolated by themselves.
Yeah, I know that. Also, you have less chance of dementia. Yeah, well, dementia is not necessarily just being alone, but that amplifies the problem.
Definitely. Yeah.
So, what? I'm just trying to think of something. Do you have like size limits on pets? Do you have what's your what? How's that kind of stuff work?
Yeah. So people can have up to two pets, generally cats and dogs. Once in a while, we'll see a bird. We do not have weight limits. We do not have um, breed limits. They just have to play well in the sandbox, so to speak.
Right. So, what about grandkids? You want your grandkids to come spend the summer with you, or the weekend with you, or what have you. How does that work?
Yeah, so the cooperative does not discriminate against family members of a member living in the cooperative. So if you have a grandchild or a daughter or a son or a brother that needs to come and stay with you, they can stay with you indefinitely if they need to.
Oh, cool. Because some that becomes challenging sometimes. That's what I was trying to figure how all that works. So
Yeah, no,
you
no problem.
you mentioned the guest room. That's why I was trying to figure out if it was capable of staying in the condo as well. I don't know about cooperative, I guess. It's not a condo, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. People ask that a lot.
So when do you start building? Do you have to have a percentage of the units sold or?
Yeah, so we are working with the county right now, the city, and developing the property site for the plans. Once we get those done, then we will break ground. We're thinking early spring of next year. We wish we could do it in December or November, but it depends on the weather.
Sure. So what about you got someone coming in, say if they sell their house, they have a lot of equity, then they could pay for the thing maybe. Um, what if they don't have that and they need to do a mortgage? Is it through a bank or do you guys have internal financing? How does that work?
Yeah, so there is no lending on the property behind that master mortgage. It's safer for the community not to do that.
Okay,
And so they're bringing cash to the table or they're taking it out of investments to buy into the cooperative. So, it is an investment into the cooperative. So they might be liquidating an IRA or a 401k and just transferring it to a different location, which means they're putting it into the assets of the cooperative where it's going to continue to grow at 3%.
okay. I was just trying to figure out how that was all
Yeah.
being handled as well.
Yeah, a lot of times people will get a home equity loan, and that way they can use their equity right now to purchase. And then when we move in, they pay that off. And now they've had extra money because look at the growth in this area has been huge, right?
Right.
So if they have a lot of if they're putting it in a CD or something that's going to make money, then they can help offset some of their future costs.
Okay. So so you have the thing coming up on the 18th, is that correct?
That's correct.
And where is that located?
The Wyndham in Westfield,
Okay.
it's
And
on
what time?
1 o'clock,
Okay.
and
I've
it's
been
about an
to
hour.
I've been to one of those. That's so I was, and you had a pretty good crowd there that day. So I can't remember when it was. It's been a while ago, but it's um but in any case, I definitely find this an interesting thing. Do Are you aware of any other cooperative type situations in this general market?
No, none. I
Yeah,
don't
I was
think
gonna
there's
say
a
I hadn't
cooperative
heard of any.
in the state of Indiana. I don't believe there's one yet.
Okay. So, what are the disadvantages? I mean, let's play devil's advocate here. What's the disadvantages of this?
Disadvantages, gosh. If you're somebody who doesn't like people, mayy that would be a disadvantage, right? Because there's
Now
people
you're
around
picking on
you.
me. But anyway,
No,
there's
you
a thing
can't.
where Jeff Foxworthy is promoting a thing. He goes, I've gone from worrying about not being included to hoping I'm not included. But anyway, so I'm
Yeah,
going, yeah,
Jim, if you want to move in, you have to get rid of your bees.
no, well, see, there you go. There's my pets. So yeah, but
One of the things that was a disadvantage that I've heard in my tenure with the cooperative is I don't want to give up my antique car. I really need a garage. Well, on this project, we've kind of solved that problem because now we do have 12 individual garages for people that like to tinker in their garage or have a special car, maybe a lot of family heirlooms that they just aren't quite ready to part with that they could put in there. So we kind of solved that one.
yeah.
Disadvantage. I don't know. We don't have a lot of disadvantages that I can think of.
Well, I mean, like I said,
Um,
there's a quid for. I mean, there's different things for different folks, but yeah.
yeah.
So when you figure it's like a 2 year window before they're going to be able to move in, is that correct?
Yeah, 28 is when we're expecting them to be able to move in.
So when you've got people there, you've got experience for 6 years with this firm at different locations across the country. So you have seen the actual use of them in real, okay, in real time, what people are doing,
Yeah,
how they
yeah,
live. And so, do you have people that, as they're aging, trying to age in place, do they then just, if they need care, they do bring in like home care, home health, that kind of stuff? Or
they
do you
can.
see that
Yeah,
happening?
yeah, they can. They can have them come in for 3 or 4 hours. They can have them stay there if they need to, right?
Yeah.
But the nice thing too, if they just need a little bit of care, like say maybe I need to have knee surgery, guess what? My neighbors are helping me. So that's a really great advantage to living in a cooperative because you get to know your neighbors in your community. And generally, people moving into a cooperative kind of like their neighbors. And so they support each other a lot.
Well, I was just curious, I do a lot of work in the senior world, obviously, and aging in place is always a big.
It's
It's
important.
beyond the buzzword. It's actually a very much a desire from a lot of people. So,
Yeah, it's important, right? We all love our homes.
mhm. And don't want to give up all that stuff. So what kind of things would you want to make sure that people take away from this that should talk about something that's brand new. So probably almost everyone watching this is kind of going, I've never heard of this, or I've heard about it in New York, or because they have like cooperatives there, but
It,
not necessarily for seniors.
no, very different than New York, too.
Mhm.
What would I want them to take away? I would want them to take away that if they're thinking about moving in the next couple of years, come and meet with me or come to a seminar and let's dive into what's important to them, what they need, and see if we can fit that need.
Well, very good. Well, I want to thank you for being with us, Janet, and sharing this. This will be live for a month on Facebook. Facebook has a new rule, which I personally hate, but it's probably just because of all the data that's on there. These things only last, the Facebook Lives last 30 days, then they kick them off. Okay. Most of the views on this will be on Facebook Live. Okay. So they are going to be, we'll have, I don't know, 1,500 views or so in the next week or so. Okay. And then I will make a YouTube. I'll send you a copy of it so you can use it however you want to do it as well. I don't know if I have your email or not. Text me that because we were on cell phones today earlier. So just
Yeah,
text me
I
your
could do
email.
that.
And I'll also attach that to the video so you'll have people could reach you pretty quickly that way as well.
Yeah, and Jim, I do have an office in Carmel, and they can always come by my office, but make an appointment because I have two offices that I work out of, and I'm not always right here in this Carmel office.
Okay. Where is your Carmel office?
It is on Hancock, not too far from Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, very good. Well, make sure to text me that email address and I'll put that in here as well. But thank you so much for sharing with us. This was very cool. And like I said, I've spent, well, since the earth was cooling in real estate, my dad was a broker before me, and I was in new home construction and development for 27 years, running much of those. So this is all new. I, was aware of these things happening, but they weren't here.
Yeah, we are so fortunate to be here in Indiana, and from what I understand, there's a huge need for it.
Well, like I said, good luck. And we'll get this out and let people know that you're here and what you're doing.
Thank you very much. You have a
All
great
right.
day, and
Thank
thanks
you. Bye
again
bye.
for inviting us. Bye
All right.
bye.
Bye bye.